Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new week of the Forest Job and a brand new Nottingham Forest, because today we have agreed the departures of several players that were making up part of the squad but in all honesty weren't really getting enough game time and weren't part of my future plans. First of all, Sammy Amiobi has left the club for £1.4 million. I wish I could say I could remember where I had sent him, but I can't. It wasn't a particularly well-known club. I believe it was one of the weird clubs that sit in the other teams folder. But £1.4 million. Hopefully, he'll get more game time with them than he did with us the last season. Never forget the goal that he scored right at the end of the season in the Championship to help us on our way to promotion. But unfortunately, with the quality of players that we had in his same position, he just never got any game time. Next up, Jack Colback. I did say that I was in two minds as to whether to let him go or not, but given the fact that Yates needed the game time to develop and was already looking every inch the player that Jack Colback was looking to drop down to become, it was time for young Jack, or old Jack, I should say, to move on. He's left us for £600,000. And again, I can't remember who I sent him to, but still, it was a reasonable amount of money for a player who was very quickly descending into the ranks of averageness. That he's getting on, and his development chart was starting to point in the wrong direction. So, Jack Colback, thank you very much for your time at the club, but it's time for something different. Harry Arter, another player who has left the club. This transfer, I believe, was in the region of £1.2 million, but I couldn't put my hand on my heart and tell you that that was the case. So Harry Arter has left us. Again, another player who had seen better days and was starting to lose a little bit of what made him so great. So we let him go. On to pastures new. Hopefully he'll get some more game time wherever he ends up going. He really wasn't playing for us, and so I felt only fair to let him go and also get a little bit of cash in the bank, because we had made a few signings since then. Charlie Daniels, another player who left us. Really, that was just more of a case of we signed him from the youth team so that we could cash in on him. I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to dress it up as anything other than what it is. I'm gaming the system. We have a youth team. I'm going to use it. I'm going to sell those players on. I'm going to make money. I'm going to invest that money in players that haven't retired yet. So, yeah, Daniels has moved on. He was sold for a decent chunk of change. I think it was around about between £6 and £8 million in the end, Daniels. And yeah, so that's one player that really had a bright future, but it wasn't a future that was going to be seen out at our club. We needed players who were the finished article here and now. And that is a lot of who has already been sent off. We'll just scan through here because there's one or two more. Mbeso has left the club on loan for 6 months. We got £900,000 for that loan deal. Not a bad deal at all. We've signed him to a new contract because he is starting to develop into a very decent centre back. He's fourth choice at the moment. Um, but yeah, so he's a player that I'm looking at in the future as being one of our leading lights, hopefully. I still haven't quite forgiven him, to be honest, after the absolute shit show he had in the Championship a couple of years ago. But still, he's got his chance to shine on loan. And when he returns in 6 months' time, I'm sure that he'll be getting plenty of game time as we look to rotate the centre backs and keep them fresh. Next up, James Milner has left for Aston Villa. He's going back to a team that he knows very well. We signed him from the youth team again, 16 years old, and never really played him because I didn't want to become reliant on a player who I knew I was really just looking to cash in on. He ended up leaving us for about £18 million. We ended up managing to get Aston Villa to pay 18 million plus 10% of any future transfer fee, which is a nice deal for us because I think he's going to move on at some point in the next few years while we're still in charge of Nottingham Forest, and it'll be nice to have that extra little injection of cash when he develops into the player that we all know that he can be. A real workhorse and a player that in any other circumstance I would absolutely love to have in my team. If we had new gens rather than regens, and he had become a new player with a new name and a new face, and those same stats, I would be mad to let him go because he could play multiple positions, fantastic stamina, very good defensively, a decent eye for a pass. But I don't know, this early in the game, signing regens seems a little bit too much. Although I do have one or two in there, but you'll forgive me for being a slight hypocrite there. Ari has left the club as well. He left for about £20 million. He's moved to China. Um, Good luck to him, the Russian centre forward. The reason why he's moved is because, well, first of all, again, he's signing from the youth team that I wanted to cash in on. But more importantly, we have better players up front, and he wasn't going to get the game time. So it was better to cash in on the lad rather than see him rot on the bench. Texera has gone on loan for a year. We're getting around about £2 million for this loan. I'm very happy with that as a deal. We got him signed to a brand new contract before he left, so we're not going to be seeing the last of Texera. He looks like he could develop into a decent left back, but we already have two left backs vying for that place, and Texera wasn't going to be able to edge his way into the reckoning there. So I felt it was best to lend him out again. And that's all of the outgoings as far as I can remember. Now let's go into the game plan screen, and we can have a look at some of the players that have been brought in. Now, you'll know that I don't like putting them straight into the side. I like them to be accustomed to the team before I make them starters. And you've already spotted, I'm sure, a name that is very familiar to those of you that followed me last season when we were playing PES 2020 and I ended up going to Deportivo La Coruña. So let's get straight to it and let's say hello to Victor Malejo, who we signed from Valencia for just over £4 million, I believe. And you can see, actually, you probably won't be able to see on this screen because I don't think it has any of that stuff in there. Anyway, he's a very, very good player and he's going to improve rapidly in the next little while. Um, he can play anywhere across the front and he can play left midfield and right midfield as well. I think that's very, very important for us that we have a player who's able to fill multiple roles. I was looking at Oliver Burke, but he didn't want to come to the team. Apparently, he felt that Sheffield United were in a better position. Who am I to argue with him? But I think they got relegated this season, so I don't know exactly what his thought process was there. So you can see we're no stranger to Victor Malejo. He hasn't changed that much. He's got good balance and stamina. His speed and acceleration are pretty decent, which means that he'll be quick off the mark down those wings. He's got good ball control, good dribbling, good offensive awareness, which is vital for a player up front. His passing's not bad. It will develop slightly. He'll get into the orange with his passing before too long. His finishing also will, before too long, go orange as well. Nothing really to look at on the second page other than his weak foot accuracy. His conditioning is decent. His injury resistance is a bit so-so, but I'm sure that when I put him on the training regime, we can improve that somewhat. Um, this is what I really love about him, though. Look at the player skills on this lad. Look at all of that. Outside curler, low lofted pass, gamesmanship so he can win himself a free kick every now and then. Step on ball control, cut behind and turn, scissor feint, track back. He's a trickster. He makes incisive runs. There's nothing not to like about this player who is only 21 years old despite his lack of hair. Next on the list, we have a S. Cosgrove signed from Aberdeen for £700,000. This was a player that was suggested to me by the scouts, and I'm very happy that they did because look at this beast of a player. First of all, let's have a look at his height. He's 188 centimeters tall, which makes him in the region, if my maths is correct, of about 6'3". 6'3", perhaps. Now let's have a look. He's got 88 heading, physical contact of 85, 77 balance, jumping 82, and remember 82 coupled with his height makes him pretty decent in the air. His offensive awareness is very good as well. He's not too slow for a big man either. Speed of 73, acceleration of 74. That could improve over time, and I'm going to look to see if I can improve that slightly. But I'm really impressed with him overall as a big kind of target man. I'm thinking about Joel Linton and players like that, players that we've used who really don't fit the mold of the quick, nippy, zippy striker, but somehow we always got the best out of them. He's got great finishing, great heading, and looking at his weak foot usage and conditioning, that's pretty decent as well. Although his accuracy, not particularly fantastic, but I'm hoping that he can make enough chances that he doesn't need to put them all away. He's a penalty specialist and he does have the heading speciality, which means that when we put those crosses into the box, I'm hoping that we can get a few more headers on target this season. It's been something that I've been slightly annoyed by, and especially when playing on superstar difficulty, putting crosses into the box, you have to be so accurate with them. And then even if you are accurate, if the player's not good at heading the ball, your chances of scoring are practically zero. So Cosgrove comes in. He'll not necessarily be a starter from the bench, but I think this is going to be the transition season where Guerrero is probably going to end up giving way to Hernandez as the #1 choice striker. And then it will be a battle between Cosgrove and Nyangbo to see who's going to be the backup. But I didn't want to sell Guerrero this season. I've had offers for him, but I just felt that he was our top scorer last season. He deserves a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for here? Loyalty than some of the other players that I've had. But even so, also now this is my favourite signing of all from Bayern Munich. We've signed Nubel, a German goalkeeper rated at 81. And when I go into the goalkeeping, you're going to understand why I signed him. Boom. Look at all those greens. Good Lord Almighty. Great awareness, great catching. His reflexes are off the chain. His reach is very good as well. He's got very good weak foot accuracy, which isn't the most important thing for a goalkeeper, but bear in mind that we do play around the back and sometimes we have to play it back to the goalkeeper. So the fact that he has decent accuracy with his weaker foot does put us in a good position. Conditioning very good. Injury resistance not great, but that's why you have more than one goalkeeper in the squad. And then going back in here, you can see low passing and lofted pass aren't particularly fantastic, but he does have very good jumping, very good physical contact, and his kicking power is pretty decent as well. So I'm very happy with Nubel coming in and becoming our #1 goalkeeper. He's 193 centimeters tall. He's a giant. He's an absolute giant. He's a Peter Crouch of the goalkeeping world. I'm really looking forward to seeing him playing for us. And I think he might be the one exception to the rule where it comes to players that are going to start almost immediately. I'm going to rotate between him and Samba, but I get the feeling that Nubel, before very long, is going to be our #1 choice goalkeeper. Daniel Fazzato is on the transfer list. I'm going to look to get rid of him soon. Christie and McDowell are both also on the transfer list. Skirtle is on his way out of the club. We've just sold him for £20 million. And as I said, Nyangbo and Cosgrove are both going to battling it out for the #2 striker role eventually. But that's the plan for this season. I do have an iron in the fire. I was thinking about signing another midfielder just so that we had some options in case we wanted to go to more than 3 men in midfield. I won't mention the name yet, but I'm sure that you'll recognise him if and when he joins the club. Right, so that is everything. I think I've brought you up to speed at this point. We're 13 minutes into this episode, almost 14 at this point. I think it's about time we play a game of football. And what a game we have for you today, as our last game of last season becomes the first game of this season. Nottingham Forest versus Manchester City at the City Ground. You already saw their lineup in the game management screen. So let's go straight to the match screen. Give our players the customary psychic team talk where you can hear all of the murmuring and footsteps, but none of the voice. Manchester City are a tough side, but there's no reason to fear them. Supporters are going to be giving it all there today. So let's do it for them. It's our first time appearing before the home crowd this season, so whatever you do, make this match worthy for the fans. And remember, make them play at our pace. I should also let you guys know that we did actually end up beating the Old Boys team in the season finale last time out. We beat them 1-0. I did play it off camera because it's not a game that really has any stakes to it. But we did beat them 1-0, and it was a very good lineup, including Carlos Tevez, I believe, was playing for them. So doing pretty well so far. We'll have to see how the team plays as we get into this one. But we can see the Manchester City team quite similar to the one that we saw last time, except for the fact that Mahrez and who's that? Who is that on the right? Ferran Torres. Oh, Ferran Torres. Okay, there we go. So they're occupying the wide roles. Raheem Sterling has been restored to the centre forward berth alongside Sergio Aguero. I'm slightly concerned about Aguero starting the game against us with Sterling alongside him. I am, however, a little bit more confident about our chances this time because of how well we played last time out. That being said, I'm probably going to shit the bed big time on this one. So apologies to you guys if we end up having a terrible 0-0 draw, or even worse, if we get absolutely hammered. I guess if we get hammered, at least you'll have seen some good goals. But fingers crossed, we can at least do ourselves proud today as we play Manchester City at the City ground. Guerrero kicking off, and Busquets finds Zafuik on the right hand side. Zafuik was actually the player to score for us against the old boys. Ball played through. Oh, I tell you what, Arcas did a very good job of battling for the ball there, but Ederson able to just about get to it first as Lolly challenges for the header. Kabayi picks it up. Centurion to Lolly. But, ooh, nearly. Arcas is going to get to this first. And I think the offside flag is given against him there. It's a shame. But there we are. But promising already that we're able to get at the Manchester City back line with relative ease. I think they're not treating us with the level of respect perhaps that we are due. As Guerrero looks to win this header, and does. Lolly has the ball, plays it through. Guerrero doesn't have the legs to beat Laporte to it, unfortunately. Needed a slightly better pass there as Lolly controls, brings it down and looks to play it forward. And he finds Oriol Busquets. He's got a man in the middle, but he doesn't find him. The defender manages to intercept and pass back to Ederson. And away City come again. They're finding it difficult so far to get out of their own half as Oriol Busquets manages to intercept that ball. Lolly has it now, plays it back through to Guerrero. Well, it's a wasted opportunity. But again, Forest are doing all the running here in the early going. Great hustle, great hustle. Oh, Zafuik, he needs to get back on that. No, he's just laying there. Oh, he's done a great job of tackling the man, despite just laying there, though. Lolly. Oh, it's a poor cross into the box, in fairness. Kabayi, oh, mate, what are you doing? Bremer in attendance. Ball over the top, Zafuik looking to catch onto it, but Samba, his first man. Zafuik into Kabayi. Here's Lolly. Dinks it over the top. Kabayi, he won't get to it. It's a shame. Pretty good game so far, I have to say. I'm enjoying this. I'm not quite going to burst into a round of can we play you every week. But that being said, the City games are one of the most enjoyable of the season as Zafuik gets underneath the ball there. Foden picks it up. De Bruyne, Mahrez. Good tackle from Worrell, but he loses out. And between Samba and Zafuik, we managed to get shot. Fortunately enough for us. Apologies for the slightly negative play there, but it was important that we keep hold of the ball. Ah, it's a shame. It's looking for the quick passing. De Bruyne, Sterling. Oh, it's a brilliant save from Samba. Reaction save from the Forest goalkeeper, who is under immense pressure after the record signing of Newbold. And that's how I'm going to pronounce it, whether or not it's correct. But Samba is in possession of the number 1 jersey, and that save is as much to say, come and take it from me. De Bruyne, short one out to Mahrez. Here it comes into the box. Kabai's got it. That's lovely play from Forest to take it out of the box. Seemingly no pressure on them whatsoever. Worrell is running down this wing like a orthodox winger. Looks for the cross into the box. Near post. Oh my word. Well, if you told me that Worrell could play on the wing, I would have absolutely laughed you out of the building. But not only did he get it down the wing with great pace, but he found a very good ball into the box. And unfortunately, just unable to get the right connection on it at the end there. Ederson telling his players, get forward, I'm going to lob it into the centre of the pitch. Worrell's underneath it. Can he win the header? He does a good job. Centurion just paused for a second there. I don't know if he was a little bit unsure whether to run for it. I think he could have picked... Oh dear, that's not good. Sergio Aguero. Oh, brilliant from Bremer. Is Cabaye. Busquets now. Oh, Guerrero's been bundled off of the ball. It was clumsy, but not a foul according to the referee. So play will continue here. Laporte, Rodri, Ruben Dias, out to Ferran Torres. Here's Foden. Aguero now. Danger whenever Aguero has the ball. Willems attending Torres out wide. Can't stop the cross from coming in. But thankfully, Aguero is not the best header of the ball. And the attentions of the defender caused him to head it over the bar. So it's going to be a Forest goal kick here. 42 minutes of 45 played in the first half. And it's been a fun game so far. Forest have arguably been the better of the two. Oh, that's a poor pass there, unfortunate really. Better of the two teams so far in this first half. But Forest have proven so often, City have proven so often that all they need is half a chance. And they can turn a game on its head. And there's the half-time whistle. It's a 0-0 scoreline at half-time. But it's not been a boring 0-0, that's for sure. Forest really taking it to the visitors in this first half. Hopefully they can maintain that momentum in the second. I'm very surprised to see how few shots there have been in that half. City perhaps slightly more dominant in possession, as the stats bear out there, but everything else very, very even and equal. I was tempted to make a change in time for the second half to begin, but I think we'll stick with what we've got at the moment. The performance so far, very impressive. I've been quite happy with Cabaye. That's good from Worrell, and he's down off the wing again. There he goes. Oh, it's a poor pass in the end. Forest have it back. Oh, nearly. Cabaye trying to slide one past the opposition defender. Couldn't quite manage it. Bremer winning the ball. Busquets wins the header. Cross into the box. Willems on the other side now, looking to cross it in. Interesting cross, almost crossed it behind the man that he intended. Oh, and here goes Aguero now. Busquets busting a gut to try and stick with him. It's good from Worrell. Oh dear, Busquets with a terrible pass. But fortunately, Aguero can only manage to put it out for a throw-in for Forest. As Gundogan comes on for Foden. City trying to change things up a little bit in the middle of the park, perhaps. Here's Arcas. Ferran Torres, lots of room on the wing here. He's going to have time to find the cross. Willems does great to get back to him and in fact wins the ball off of him. And here come Forest down the other way now. Oh dear, what was that pass? Willems into the middle. Kabai! Oh, Ederson with a brilliant stop. It was right at him, but he still had to be alert. And now we're going to look to make a change. Guerrero's been okay, but I'm going to give Hernandez the nod now. Do we go with Malejo? Do we go with Yeah, we do. We do go with Victor Malejo. He's going to get his debut here against Manchester City. Let's hope he doesn't let us down. Quite a lot of interest in Lolly during the transfer window as well, should add. Oof, oh, I thought Aguero was going to put that one away. But I've decided to hang on to Lolly until at least the midway point of the season. He's still a very good player for us. And the amount of money being offered, honestly, is insulting. Not many options on here, really. Let's go for a position shift. There we go. That's opened it up. So Busquets picks it up and immediately two players come to him. It's out to Willems. Into the middle for Malejo. He's right in the action straight away, the bald wonder, the magic cue ball, Victor Malejo. Here's Arcas, heads it over the bar. You can see he wins the battle with his man to get in front, but unfortunately the jump is slightly too late, and as a result, he's just ever so slightly under the ball. Oh, Worrell. He's a monster where it comes to winning headers. Here's Mahrez. Sterling. Oh, there's an overload here. Ballesteros. City putting on the pressure now. It's another great save by Samba. Willems has been dispossessed. In it comes again. Worrell underneath, wins the header. Oh, it's a poor pass. Here's Rodri. Sterling back to Rodri. Mahrez. I can't say that. Here's Ballesteros. Another great save by the goalkeeper. And it goes out for a corner, and we're under some serious pressure now. It's not the done thing normally to make a change during a corner, but we do need some fresh legs in defence as Ribeiro comes on for Willems. Come on, boys. Get your heads on this. Goes over. And the referee signalling another corner. Mahrez dinks it in. Zafweek underneath. Here comes Arcas now. Oh, it's through to Hernandez. He's got a chance one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's put it in! 86th minute, and Hernandez has put Forest 1-0 ahead in the opening game of the season. A brilliant counter-attacking goal, and it's Victor Malejo with the through ball that has set up the goal. Oh, happy day. Nottingham Forest beating the league champions by 1-0. And it's a lovely finish by the former Watford man. And you can see what he thinks of that goal. And now it's all about defending the lead. Attacking fullbacks turned off immediately. Malejo, he's already feeling it. He's tracking back as much as he can. Bremer underneath, wins the header. Lovely to see. Oh, sliding tackle by Mahrez. How's that not a foul? I do not know. Oh, that's... I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say. We've been absolutely done there. João Cancelo with the equaliser. Honestly, I feel like we should have had a free kick for that tackle on the right-hand side. And that's a sucker punch. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. Look at this little track back though. Oh my word. What a piece of skill by Cancelo for the equaliser. He went around one man far too easily for my liking. Ribeiro beaten always up. But then that little shimmy across, just making the room for the shot, and then off the post and in. It's a sickening goal to concede, but you have to admire the craft. Attacking fullbacks back on then. Oh, and there goes the final whistle. What a game of football we've had at the City Ground today. Great fun playing, and I hope it was just as much fun to watch. Maybe not too many chances, but when there were chances, they were taken. Final score here at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 1. League champions Manchester City 1. Man of the match, of course, going to Hernandez, despite the fact that we were pegged back by the João Cancelo equaliser in the 3rd minute of extra time. But what can you do about something like that? Yuri Ribeiro getting a 6, despite really being done all ways up. And Bremer getting a 6 as well. He was partially at fault, but really it's as much down to me as anything. I should know how to defend properly at this stage. So a 1-1 draw on the opening day of the season. Not the worst result in the world, but oh, how much better it could have been. Let's have a look at the other results from today's games, where Liverpool beat Leeds 2-0. Norwich beat Brighton and Hove Albion 2-0. Fulham with a 1-0 win over Burnley, and Southampton beating Leicester with a handy 4-0 scoreline, which could potentially put them top of the table. Depends how the other scores went today. And in fact, they are top of the table. Newcastle potentially second, and Manchester United going down to a 3-0 loss to Newcastle. Well, that's going to hurt. West Ham 2, Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 1, Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Tottenham 2, and Wolves 0, Arsenal 0. Only 2 draws in the opening game of the season, and that puts us level with City, Arsenal and Wolverhampton on 1 point apiece in equal 9th place with, well, I mean, you you have your own eyes you can use there. You can see the teams that are above us. Southampton leading the way after that 4-0 demolition job on Leicester City. And is it too early to say that I have fears for Brighton's safety in the league this season? Maybe it is. Right, this video has gone very, very long indeed. But I didn't really feel like doing an extra transfer video as well as a game, so I decided against it. I thought I'd roll it all into one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to see more of this, then please feel free to subscribe as well. There's a bell notification button. I honestly don't know if that works, but click that if you want notifications every time I upload. I do upload Mondays through to Fridays, one video per day during those days, except for the New Year's period where I take a week off. But thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.